The last time you saw this little 74 MG Roadster, we were cleaning about 30 years worth of filth off the outside and out of the inside of it. And in this video, we're going to try to get it running again. But you'll notice that in some of the clips, the car's still dirty, and that's mainly because I was impatient. I wanted to try to work on it and get it running before we got it cleaned up. So you'll see some clean, some dirty. But the general idea here is to get this thing running again without spending any money. I mean, we're going to do the bare minimum to try to make this thing crank up. I'd love it if we could drive it around the block, but let's see how far we can get with it. Okay, well, we cleaned this thing out and didn't find a key.
Nope.
I feel pretty bad about that.
Where'd the key go?
I don't know. So this is definitely outside of our normal comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like normally it's like this
Like
type
this,
stuff.
like
Novas.
Also rust too.
Yeah. Novas and V8s, Chevy V8s, you know, that's our comfort zone. This is a little 4-cylinder with a manual transmission. It's got a hydraulic clutch. There's a lot of obstacles. So a little bitty 4-cylinder, but it's got 2 carburetors on it, so that's cool. A little bitty radiator. Let's see what's in here.
Probably
Absolutely
not anything.
nothing. Bone dry.
Woohoo! Daddy, look how dirty the motor is.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just leave that.
Yeah, it's not opening.
So, I've been reading on the internet because this thing doesn't have a key. But I've been... You okay? It's almost like you drank a full Mountain Dew before we started this.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, I read a little bit on the internet because this thing does not have a key. And I'm figuring out how to hotwire it. Because I know how to hotwire an old car, an old American car. But an MG, I don't know. So we got to put a hot battery in it. I figured out how to hotwire it. There's a lot to learn here because this is new territory. But it looks to be very complete. I'll try to turn it over. This is a little plastic fan, so I probably shouldn't put too much. Oh, it's moving a little bit.
Birds are very loud.
Oh, yeah. It's turning right over. So the engine's free. That's good. So we just need to spin it over some. He will not stop.
No, he won't.
Somebody make him stop. Okay, so I've been YouTubing how to crank this thing up without a key. And thank goodness there's a video on here that's like, I don't know, 20 years old. And it says to take the white, oh no, I lost it. There it is. The white with the brown stripe off of this. And you can touch, be sure to have it out of gear. And you can touch this bottom terminal on the little fuse block right there. And this should spin the motor over without a key. Let's try it. You gotta have the battery hooked up first. Battery's hooked up now. So this wire took it off of this little relay. I'm putting it on this bottom terminal and it should spin over. And it does. Okay, next step was the baby crying. Alright, the next step on making this thing actually run without a key is crossing out these 2 terminals, the bottom 2 terminals on that little fuse block. So I've done that. I've got my starter wire ready. I'm going to hook up the battery and see what happens. Potentially smoke or something, because now we've got live action. Oh. So that's the fuel pump. I guess that's a good sign. If it's sending fire to the fuel pump, maybe it's also sending fire to the ignition and everything. So I'm gonna put fresh gas right here because it sounds like it's dry. Yes, I should probably squirt the cylinders down. Yes, I should probably do a lot of other things, but it spins over freely. This thing's been inside for years, so I'm not too worried about it being rusted up too bad. Ooh, a lot more sizzly back here. it's sounding exactly the same. So I don't know what that means. Oh, rock. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Put it right here for safekeeping. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, there we go. That works. Okay, now tell me if any gas comes starting out of there.
No fuel.
Weird that it's making all that noise, but not actually doing anything. Let's try gravity. See if gravity has any effect on it. What you got? What you got? You got some rocks? Thank you. You want to get some more? Okay. Rocks. Thank you. Thank you. It's not happy. Probably shouldn't just keep trying it like that. Every time I try it, it acts differently. Okay, I figured out what the issue was. This thing, you can see down there, this was arcing off of one of these interior panels. So I've got it pulled loose now. Shouldn't have, we're getting a little bit of a spark, but that's mainly because I've got this thing hot wired right now. So let's hook this back up, see if we get any action. Oh, there goes the fuel pump. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. Pump of gas. Yes. Okay. Now I just need to hook that gas line back up now that I've made a huge mess. Good. Perfect. All right, well that escalated quickly. I went ahead and took the carburetor apart just to see. Never had one of these apart, and I found a little bit of issue there. A little gunky. Probably not allowing this thing to work like it's supposed to. So luckily the float bowls are just right there. I mean, it's super easy to work on. All right, I got the first one done. Doesn't it look so much better now that it's clean? Yeah. And let's pull the second one off. Nice and easy. I mean, they don't look crazy bad. They're not gunky, but we're cleaning them anyways. I really like how these carburetors are made. They're pretty easy to work on. This one feels a little more gunky than the other one. Yeah, that needle's pretty bad. A little bit more buildup on this one than the other, but still not terrible considering how long this thing sat. We'll just spray it off with some carb cleaner, put it back together. These guys at MG really knew what they were doing. I mean, they built in a carburetor cleaning station on these cars. It's pretty awesome. I mean, you just, that's all you gotta do. You're ready. So fuel is still dumping out of the carburetors, out of the overflow, but it's not filling up in the bowl. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I've just unhooked the wires to the fuel pump. I'm gonna try to spin it over and see if it's actually got any fuel up to it. It's worth a try to see if it'll just try to hit. I'm gonna hook the battery back up. Like that. Now, we've got our hot wire, the white with that brown stripe, and we're gonna find the spot to put it. Right there. Carefully. Really trying to hit, which I suspect that it's not actually getting fuel where it needs to be. If it's automatically pumping in and then out of the carburetor without actually filling up the bowls, that's a problem. So I got to figure that out. Well, I ended up taking the carburetors off of the car, and I've been taking them apart. I got this one apart and cleaned it out and saw some pretty big gunk and issues that could probably be causing what I've been experiencing, where the gas is just dumping out of the overflow. So I'm going to take this one apart, do the same thing. I'm not buying anything, I'm just taking it apart, Luckily, these things have very few gaskets. There's not a whole lot as far as like, having to buy new pieces. So I'm just taking it apart, cleaning it thoroughly. You can see the gunk that has come out of that first carburetor, and this one I'm assuming will be just as bad, if not worse. Also, just a quick note, when you're doing work like this, it's good to have a real clean working environment. You don't want a bunch of dirt and dust getting in there. I'm trying my best to preserve that rubber seal. Let's see what we got here. Very carefully. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. I mean, a little bit of stuff built up on the float. Definitely some stuff built up there, and it looks like we've got a pretty major clog right there. That's the other carburetor was the same way. I think that cleaning that out, getting that where it'll blow air or carb cleaner through it, that's going to help us a lot. Everything appears to be complete though, so we're good there. It's just yucky in there. So I'll take it apart, clean it, stick it back together. I don't know if you can see that very well, but this is supposed to have a hole in the end of it. And it's plastic, so it's kind of fragile, but it's completely clogged up, completely closed. So I would imagine that's what's causing our fuel flow issues. But looking inside of here, this is not dirty at all. I mean, it's got a few little chunks here and there, a little bit built up down in this little pocket back here, but for the most part, really not bad at all. I'm just gonna see if I can stick a piece of wire or something in there and then put some air to it to blow the rest of it out. So, all right, so we got some new Rockauto points, a new rotor button, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave this old distributor cap. It looks like it's perfectly fine. The spark plug wires probably need to be replaced, but I'm not fooling with that. I did order some plugs, so I'll change those out. But for right now, I want to put this cap back on, and that way we can test real quick here and see if we've got spark. So let's snap this thing back on. This thing had some spark plugs just laying here, so it's pretty handy to be able to do a little testing here. Snap. And we'll set it over here to where it's grounded. Yep, there it is. It's not a very strong spark, but it's a spark. All right, it's the moment of truth. I got the new plugs in. Fuel pump's clickety-clacking away. I've got my hot wire. It's time to spin it over and see if it does anything. All right, let's give it a little gas. If that does anything. Doesn't sound like it. We don't have any fuel pumping out here, which is a good thing. All right, this time I sprayed some juice right down the throat. Let's see if it makes any difference. Oh, it tried to hit. Okay, here we go, here we go. Oh, it was trying. It was trying hard. There it goes. It's wanting to. So close. I don't know if it's actually getting any gas in it or not, because it's acting like it wants to start, but it's only when I spray a little juice in it. which is telling me that this fuel pump is not doing what we want it to do. It's making a lot of noise, but it's not, I don't think it's delivering any fuel into the carburetors. Okay.
There's a lot of stuff coming out of there.
Yeah. All of it. I don't know if it ever. This is not clickety clacking as loud as it was. Maybe we knocked something loose and it let the fuel go in, but still not running real good. I'm gonna unhook that before it does something bad. And it's pumping oil out over here where the dipstick's gone. So we need to put a dipstick in it before we run it much more. But it runs. Smokes a little bit, I guess. Was it smoking here or was it smoking back there?
It was smoking back there.
Back there too. It sat for a while.
Sorry, I stepped away.
You got scared? It's okay. I mean, you would have had all this on you.
I almost ran away.
Yeah.
I was like,
Isaac probably did. He's probably in Graysville right now. Okay, so what's your project here?
so we have this ginormous box of keys, and this one, yeah, there's lots of keys.
Okay.
There's ones that are like this, that are like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of keys.
Yeah, that's like a janitor.
And then there's ones like this. And
Does
like
the
this.
janitor at your school have a big ring of keys like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably has one, not that big, but like.
Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so
Something like about these.
what you're trying to do is just try all these keys to see if there's something that's wore out just enough to turn the ignition switch on this thing.
This one is close. These are the ones that we've tried and they don't work yet, and these are the ones that we haven't done yet.
Okay.
This is probably janitor.
Yeah.
Not that many keys, but a good amount of keys.
Okay.
And
So the reason we're doing this is to unlock the steering wheel. We have figured out how to hot wire the car, but we need to unlock the steering wheel so that it's easy to move around.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to be able to drive this car because of the hydraulic clutch and the brakes,
Yeah.
but moving it around would be pretty handy.
And look at this. I don't know if this is vintage or what this is.
Oh, look at that.
But this is like.
You should try that in there. Try it and see if it turns it over. Wouldn't that be something?
Daddy,
Yes.
tires going slow now.
Your tires are going slow? Oh man, we need to speed them up. A few days have passed since the last time we fooled with this, but we found the original dipstick, which is going to help us. The reason I didn't run it for very long is it was starting to shoot oil out of the dipstick hole, but we got the dipstick in there, and now it's time to try to let it run a little bit longer this time, hopefully. So I'm going to prime the carburetors here. A little bit of juice. Should be good. Now, if I can remember my wiring situation, that's good. All right, fuel pump's running. See if this thing will turn over. Oh, that was way too easy. I hate letting that fuel pump just sit there and pump like that. Try again. Let's try from the other side.
Okay.
That way you're not filming my backside there. When it's submerged in the gas, this should be making a different noise when it doesn't have gas and when it does have gas. So I'm wondering what's going on there.
The noise freaks me out. It's like
I don't know that it's actually pumping. Yeah, it should at least change tones when I take the hose out of the can. Yeah, buddy.
I don't know what's inside.
Oh, I don't either.
don't break it.
What is it?
I don't know.
A little extra toot. Let's see if it'll run a little longer. Starting to pick it up, I think. Yeah, it's picking it up. There it goes. Yeah, good.
It's like on magical powers. When I step away, it stops.
Okay, let's let that rest a minute. Fiddle with the carburetor a little bit and see if I can get it to run without like having to constantly pump it. I don't know what I'm doing with these carburetors, but that's the plan. Work on a little bit more, see if it'll actually sit there and run on its own. Okay, so I noticed a few open vacuum ports on the carburetors. I'm hoping that that helps us. Let's put the battery cable back up. Our fuse. There's something about that fuel pump that's just not right. We're gonna proceed. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That just randomly. It did.
Something.
Okay.
Something good happened.
Nobody touch anything.
Something good happened. Let's try it. Nope. See, now it's back to doing that. Whatever we did just then. What did we do? Let's try again. Yeah, that's it. So we're getting close. We're getting close to figuring it out. For all I know, this ratty old filter could be clogged up and causing the issue, but I don't have a long enough piece of hose to go here to there. That's part of the deal with this thing, is we're spending no money. Yeah, I mean, why not? Spray a little more. Oh, see, now that's already got some fuel in it. Okay, noises are changing.
How'd that feel?
Feels good.
Good.
No gas dripping. I don't hear any highly alarming noises. There's a little bit of clattering going on, but that's probably normal.
The only thing now is to try to unlock the steering wheel.
Unlocking the steering wheel is going to get us a little further. We'll see. We'll see what we can figure out, but right now I'm just happy that this thing is running on its own.
You're not bending over pushing something. You're not just going. There's something rattling.
I think the pipe is loose. Yeah, that's the exhaust pipe rattling. So here's a little cool thing that happens when you don't have a key, is how do you turn it off? You don't have a key to turn it off.
But how do you turn it off? You just wait until it stops running?
Run out of gas, I guess. You can, there's a few ways. You can undo the wire that I've got crossed over. That would kill it.
But you don't want to do that.
You can take this out of there, that would kill it. Or you could probably do that. Oh, forgot to turn the heat off.
Dang it! Hurry!
So, there we go. All right, so we've done all we can do without spending any money. We actually did spend $37 on points, a rotor button, and some new spark plugs. But the rest of this has been stuff that we had laying around. I pulled the battery out of our Chevelle. I pulled gas hoses and filters and things just out of just junk. We used junk to make this thing run again. I was hoping we could get the clutch pedal to pump up, but could not get it to pump up. Tried bleeding it, tried letting it gravity bleed, no luck. So we've cleaned it up, we've made it run. We're not gonna be able to drive it, even though I would really love to buzz around the neighborhood in this thing. We spent a total of 3 evenings piddling with this thing.
It's not that bad, not that much time.
No, we didn't invest very much time. And the end result is that this car will bring a little bit more money like this, cleaned up, and being able to crank up on its own, that's helpful to bring a few more dollars. If it could run and drive on its own, that would be way better, but we did what we could do with $37 and a couple of spare evenings. So somebody somewhere down the line will have a nice little project, something that's already got some decently shiny paint on it, something they can tinker with, put some tires on, do brakes, clutch.
Spend money.
Yeah, let somebody else spend the money. All right, that's it. $37 and it runs. Probably $300 and it would drive, but I'm not gonna spend that. Just not gonna happen.
Say goodbye.
See you next time.
Bye.